Let's get it going again. Let's try this one more time. Welcome back, guys. It is Midnight Sports. It is Mark. I'm gonna say Mark from the Sports Corner, my old channel. Fuck. All right, guys. It is Mark. I am back. Wait. All right, guys. It is. It is. I know. I'm not even trying to do this. Literally, I just fucking gotta. I gotta get in that mode. All right, guys, it is Mark and Adam. We are back at the Midnight Sports Hour. We're here to give you guys our week 2 picks. For anybody who's keeping track from last week, we are seeing who does against the best against the spread. Last week, Adam went 8-6-1 against the spread, and I went 9-5-1 against the spread. So hey, we're both above 500, not too shabby. I'm ahead by one game. Hallelujah! Thank God the Bills came out of the they pulled one out of their behind and they won it for me. Adam kind of wanted to take the Bills. He kind of texted me to that, but he texted me that he wanted to take the Bills, but he had to go with the Ravens there. But we're back, man. Week 2. You ready for the Packer game coming up?
Yeah, I am. I do own other shirts. It seems like I'm always wearing them. We're filming right before the Packer game, so yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be another good test, and hopefully the Packers show out again.
Yeah, dude. I hate both teams. Commanders are part of the NFC East, and as a person who already admitted he's a diehard Packer hater, it's gonna be who I don't know who I'm gonna root for. I'm just gonna root for the spread. That's all I'm gonna root for.
Yeah, that's safe. I am a big Jaden Daniels fan, just as a player, so it'll be a little tough, but it'll be
Yeah.
fun.
Well, we talked about we gave our Monday night picks on Tuesday. On Wednesday, actually, was released. So if you guys want to go watch that, go right ahead. Our predictions before the game starts, if you can catch it. But let's start with week 2. Before that, guys, like and subscribe. It goes a long way for this small channel. We're trying to get as many views as we can, but it's hard in this YouTube game. But yeah, let's get after it. Week 2, a lot of great matchups. My Eagles are playing against the Kansas City Chiefs, the rematch of the Super Bowl of the previous Super Bowl as well. So it's gonna be a fun week. Awesome, and we have a Thursday night game that's gonna be off the rails. It's gonna be great. So let's start off with an actual. I think it's good for me. I don't know about Adam. I think this is gonna be an actually interesting matchup. We have the Rams versus the Titans. The Rams being favored by 6 points and the over-under being 41 and a half. The Rams today defeated the Texans 14-9. I mean, I know the Texans have the potential to be like one of the best front sevens, if not the best front seven, and also just a great defense, top 5 defense. But I was looking a little more. I was looking for a little bit more from the Rams in that game, and I really didn't see it. 14-9 is pretty. It's not really great.
No, it's not. And I was kind of thinking, what am I missing here? I know 6 points is a lot, but I think the Rams are being held as one of the top, 6 or 7 teams right now. Top 10
Right.
for sure. Um, so maybe it was a rusty Matt Stafford. I didn't watch super closely, but
Well,
yeah,
with the Rams, how hurt is Matthew Stafford? Like, I mean, he's probably taking cortisone or whatever the what those other shots are called in his back,
epidural.
epidural. I think they're probably paying things behind closed doors or doing things because, it was a very slow start for the offense. They went 1-4 last year. Let's keep that in mind. They started off 1-4 last year. So, and then they turned it around with like the remaining games, but they had a very slow start at 1-4, and they were at like less than 20% to make the playoffs. Hell, I think it was less than 10%, and they turned it around and they made the playoffs. So keep an eye on that. They were slow starters. Puka Nakua, the guy had a hell of a game as usual. The guy is like, he's just a catching machine. 10 catches, 130 yards. It was pretty great. But in that game, if I caught a good amount of it, they needed a fumble last minute to seal the win. So they needed the Texans to win. The Texans were moving up the field. The Texans could have won it, but a fumble by the Texans, good play on the defense, obviously by the Rams, but they needed that to win. A quick note about the Rams here coming to this game, which it says a lot. So I think it pays dividends. Both their starting guards are week to week and doesn't look like they're going to play this Sunday. So that is a big difference when you're going against this front seven, when you're playing against Will Anderson Jr. and Hunter, guys who could get after the ball, get after the quarterback easily. Also, their second tight end, Parkinson, who is a decent second tight end, he's also hurt. Briefly talk about the Titans. There's not much really talk about them. They're coming off a loss to the Broncos. They played pretty solid. I think more than we expected. So they had a terrible run game. Like I said, guys, last week we did our predictions. The Titans are going to have one of the worst running back rooms in all football. Tony Pollard's leading it. I think he's a complimentary back, not a leading back. And it's just Cam Ward, and that's it. The Titans were back against the wall. They had, what are you going to do? 17 quarterbacks taken in the first round. The last 17 quarterbacks picking with the number one pick have gone 1-15-1 in their first week of the NFL. So the guy was playing against the odds. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's in a rough situation, but he did look good. So I would look for him, at least in the second half of the year to maybe rally the team and put up some points. But yeah,
Yeah.
sporting cast is rough.
Yeah, and it wasn't a terrible loss. The Titans had three chances to tie the game in the last 5 minutes, but Ward was sacked 6 times. Like the guy, what are you gonna do? And plus, their offensive tackle is now probably not gonna play this game. The right tackle, he is out. So, but the Titans still have that ferocious defense. They still have a hell of a defense. Just Simmons is a beast. So I expect Simmons to get after him like crazy. Before we get into our predictions, quickly some stats. Matthew Stafford has struggled under pressure. He has turned the ball over while pressure 14 times the last season, which was tied for the most. While he's under pressure, he's turned it over 14 times. And I just told you guys, both of the offensive guards are going to be out for this game. Rams have covered the spread of 4 out of the last 5 games, and the Titans have lost 7 straight games, and they have failed to cover 4 out of the last 5 games. So, Adam, I'll let you take this one away, man. What do you think? Both teams, even though the Rams are beat up, can they actually beat this, kind of no offense Titans team?
Yeah, I think they can do it. I'm gonna go with the Rams. I think Stafford's gonna bounce back a little bit, and they can put up some points. I don't feel great about it, but I can't bet on the Titans right now.
You know what? I said the Rams, and I think the Rams are going to win this game. I really do. And I am probably we need to take some medicine, take some meds for taking this pick. But I think the front seven, I think they can cause some chaos because the only way Rams could survive this if Kyrie Williams picks it up. I know Puka Nakua could probably he's gonna eat, he's gonna tear him up. But I'm gonna take the Titans like I did last week. No, I didn't take the Titans to cover. I took the Titans not to cover last week, but I'm taking them this week. I'm gonna take it because the injuries to them and because I think there's more to the Matthew Stafford's back. I know he had over 200 something yards, but I'm sorry. They 14 points last week they scored and they're very slow. They started off last year 1-4. So no, I think the Titans are gonna lose. But you know what? Maybe they make this game interesting. I could see this being a 20 to I don't know 20 to 14 game or 20 to 17 game. I know that's kind of close, but I think the Titans cover and win. So give me the Titans to cover and give Adam the plus the points and give Adam for the Rams to cover. So our second game, a team that's also a slow starter, the Bengals. We have the Jaguars versus the Bengals. The Cincinnati's favored by 3.5, and the over under is 48.5. The Jags, they manhandled the Panthers. I really thought the Panthers were gonna do something better than that. Because they did cover a lot of spreads last week, the Panthers, but the Jags railroaded them. I think it says more about the Panthers, and maybe Bryce Young is not ready, but we'll get to that later. Jags look good. They manhandled Travis Etienne. He blew up for all the rushing yards, and they traded Bigsby. So Travis Etienne is going to be that guy. Brian Thomas Jr. scored a touchdown. He actually rushed for a touchdown, which was surprising. So they're kind of maybe using him more like a weapon, like Debo Samuel. Hopefully he stays healthy. The defense forced 2 turnovers. Travis Hunter had 6 receptions. I think that's pretty good. I know you're bullish on Travis Hunter, and they only had 1 sack, but they had 2 interceptions. So not a bad showing from the Jags.
No, they have a solid team. I think Trevor Lawrence is still not ascending to that level that people hoped he would. He's decent, but is not that killer kind of quarterback. But the rest of the team is solid.
Yeah, the Trevor Lawrence, he only threw for 178 yards. He had 31 attempts and 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Now I know the Panthers defense is deceiving. People think it's like chop liver, but it's not. There's some good aces on there, but you want to see more from Travis. This guy game paid like a top one core top one of the top quarterbacks, over $200 million. You want to see more than 178 yards when you got Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Hunter, and Strange was a good tight end who actually led him in receiving yards. Let's talk about the Bengals. My God, like I'm glad I took the Browns because the Bengals were like, oh, we're gonna stop being slow starters. We have done this in the previous years, and every time the last couple of years we got into the playoffs, by a hair, And what happened? They should have lost that game by the Browns. I actually watched that game because I was very interested because I took the Browns to cover, and not only did the Browns cover, they could have won that game outright. Like a terrible win against the Browns. Burrow had a QBR of 48.4. The Browns outgained him. Now listen to this. The Browns outgained him 300. The Browns had 327 yards to the Bengals 141 yards. I knew the Browns defense was great, especially that front seven. Uh, uh, what's his name got 2 sacks on him? What's his name? Their best defensive end,
Miles
Miles
Garrett.
Miles Garrett. So he ate them. So there goes that. Their starting guard, by the way, let's keep this air let everybody know. Their starting guard went on the IR after this game. So there goes one offensive lineman down. And their starting tackle is questionable for this game. So their offense, they have this amazing offense. They have a guy who people think is like the next Peyton Manning. And they barely, by the skin of their teeth, if the Browns don't miss those two field goals, their field goal kicker missed a 34-yarder and an extra point. If he makes any of those, it's a tie or a win for the Browns. So what a terrible showing by the Bengals. Don't you think it's time for them? They got to like step it up, man. Like it's like how do you have this good of an offense and you're like molasses when you come out when the season starts?
I mean, you can only have a good offense if you have a good O line. That's included. They have amazing skill players and an amazing quarterback, but that's only I don't know what percentage of the offense that is. Maybe it's 70%, but that other 30% is super important. And if they can't play defense on top of it, it's going to be a rough season.
Right. I totally agree. And I just told you guys the injuries from the Bengals and the Jacksonville Jaguars. They really don't have anybody anybody really telling you guys about who's injured. So nothing really about there. Let's obviously get our betting stats. Like I said, the Bengals have been disappointing. I mean, Burrow had 14 completions for 113 yards. And I mean, come on, man. And Brown, the running back, had 21 carries for 43 yards. If that's not pathetic, I don't know what is. 21 carries, 43 yards. That's damn near almost like 2 yards a carry. That's terrible. Anyways, let's get to the betting predictions, guys. Jags are 8-3-1 against the spread in their last 12 games. So they're covering spreads left and right. The Jags are, though, 1-11 straight up in their last 12 games. So they're covering, but they're losing. And the over 6-1 in the Bengals' last 7 games, home games, I should say. And this is their home opener. So, all right, man, I'll let you take it away on this one. What do you think? Do the Bengals wake up from this coma, or do the Jaguars keep it rolling?
I think the Jaguars keep it rolling. I think their defense is going to be good enough to get after Burrow, especially with the O line issues. And I don't think the issues that we saw from the Bengals are just going to go away in 1 week. So I think Jacksonville at least covers.
I agree with you. You know what? I think if the Jaguars' offensive line holds enough, Trevor Lawrence could feed Brian Thompson Jr., hopefully freed Strange and Travis Hunter, like get them going. And I think this is going to be a close game, but I'm taking the Jaguars to cover. The Bengals, until they prove us wrong that they're not notoriously slow starters, I'm not going to do it right now at the beginning of the season. Give me the Jaguars to cover. And talk about the Browns, who I thought play better than people anticipated. Let's talk about the Browns versus the Ravens. The Ravens are obviously the favorite. Their home opener. They're favored by 11.5 points, and the over/under being 45 points, 45.5, I should say. So like I said, the Browns blew the lead. They blew the game because of their kicker. I mean, obviously other reasons. Flacco had some turnovers. He threw 2 interceptions, and he shouldn't be throwing 45 times. I know he's a older quarterback, but he's still pretty good, pretty better than average. But they lost the game. The extra point he missed, and then he missed the field goal. Like I said, I don't have to repeat that. So, like I said before the season started, Their running back room is awful. Judkins it did sign a 4-year contract, so he is back for them. But is he going to play for this game? I don't think he's going to play for this game because he did practice with them in June, but that's only in June. I don't think that's going to pay any dividends now. So the running back room is not so great. It's Sampson, it's Ford, and whoever the other guys. These guys are average at best. Sampson is like a 6th-round rookie. I don't like him. The rookie tight end though, Fannin had a hell of a game. I think he had over 6 receptions, over I think around 60, 70 yards. Good looking for him. They got another weapon, so they could run 2 tight end sets, which they like. They like running 12 personnel with David. I'll mess his name up. You know the other tight end. I can't pronounce his name.
Njoku.
Yeah, Njoko. He is actually pretty great. So like I said before, the meat and potatoes of the Browns is that defense. That front seven is killer. Garrett leading the way. He had 2 sacks. Their rookie linebacker they drafted too. Swigner had 8 tackles. So that's looking like it could be a solid pick there. They have Graham from Michigan. So they have a lot of guys there. I mean, the also it's Flacco's first time he's ever playing the Baltimore Ravens. It's the first time he's ever playing them. I think the Browns surprised a lot of people, man.
They did. And every time I turned that game on, Flacco looked better than I thought he would. Not saying he was great, but I thought he was going to lose that game for them by himself. But he wasn't the biggest issue. And their defense looks good. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
And yeah, it's tough. It's tough. So now let's talk about one of the biggest. I mean, I can't remember. I'm trying to think about the last time I seen a big like a team, choke so bad like the Ravens did. I want to. I like all I could think about is the Eagles when the Eagles had that they came back all the way on the Giants when it was like in the fourth quarter and they had a game-winning punt return to win the game. The Miracle of the Meadowlands, I believe it's called. That's maybe there's another better comeback than that. Maybe when the Patriots came back and beat the Falcons, but oh my god, like dude, briefly, what'd you think about that comeback by the Bills?
I went to sleep when they were up by
Yeah.
2 touchdowns and had to watch the recap at 3 in the morning when I woke up. It was insane. I mean, even down to the missed extra point right before the end that would tie it up. They did everything wrong. You name it, they did it wrong.
Yeah, just let you guys know, Adam is not a Navy SEAL. He's not a Green Beret. He just goes to bed. He likes to wake up at 3 to 4 o'clock in the morning, like a not an alien, or he's getting ready for war or something. That's just his normal schedule. But yeah, dude, I was watching the game, and obviously this was the last. We were tied for our games against the spread, and I was watching it. But this is the Ravens' problem. We're gonna talk about the Ravens now. Sorry, I'm getting going off on a tangent here, but the Ravens. It's like, can you like? We're always waiting for them to get together. They always have this amazing staff and this amazing roster, but it's like, are they ever gonna put it together? They had the Bills number and they blew it. They blew it. You have the reigning 2-time MVP and Lamar Jackson, and then you have the Hall of Famer. He's going to be regarded as one of the best running backs, if not the best running back. I think there's an outside chance that Derrick Henry could end up being the best running back in history as your running back. And this guy's still running over people, and you still blew it. So let's go after the Ravens real quick. Coming off, like I said, the worst possible loss I've seen in a long time. Their offense looked dynamic as usual. Jackson had over 280 total yards, 3 touchdowns. Henry had over 182 yards, total yards, and 2 touchdowns. Zay Flowers looks great. It looks like, well, he's the only one in the receiving room, pretty much. He had 143 yards and 1 touchdown. I don't know. To me, dude, I don't know about your opinions, but Mark Andrew looks like, I think he's maybe lost a step. I know he's not that old, but he looks slow. He only had maybe a 1 reception, if that. I know they don't have the other tight end Likely, and I think Likely's probably the better guy now. He didn't play this game, but Mark Andrews, I think the best days are behind him. But they still have this high power offense. They have all this money spent everywhere. But dude, I don't know. I think and Henry fumble, by the way. That fumble did him in. Like Derrick Henry, yeah, he killed it, but like that fumble was costly. But their defense, dude, this high powered defense, where is it? You know what I mean?
It's gone. And I mean, the Bills are one of the best offenses in the league. So it was a tough test. But they need to be able to put 4 quarters of football together. I mean, you can have the best guys in the world, but these other teams are really good. And if you can't play a whole game, you're going to let teams back in the game.
Dude. You're exactly right. And just a little tidbit on the Ravens defense. They allowed 500 yards. They allowed 500 yards to the Bills. And guess what? Josh Allen had over 400 yards of that. So they let one guy who had to play Superman, obviously, to win, but he's the reigning MVP. He should be your main focus. There should be a QB spy on him on every single play. The man had over 400 yards when the total offense was 500 yards. So they let that go. So the offense still looks dynamic for them. So good for them. But and their new kicker, he looks great. He had a 50-yard kicker, 50-yarder. He made it. So maybe they're not going to lose anything since losing Tucker. But dude, how do you like this one? I'm it's a big spread, 11 and a half points. Browns looked, but who you got?
I'm going with the Browns. I think 11 and a half is too many points for me. The Ravens scored a bunch of points against the Bills because it was a shootout. I think that this divisional game it's a divisional game, right, with the Browns?
Yeah, it's a divisional game. Yep.
I think it'll be more of a lower scoring slugfest, and the Browns hang in there to cover the 11 and a half.
Yeah, this is tough, man. It's like the Browns could get after people. They can sack. They can wreak havoc. Their front seven could be dynamic. They have a good secondary. Like I said, Ward is questionable, by the way. Maybe I should have mentioned that before you, but Ward is. But I think he'll play. And they have Newsome. So this is tough. I know I took the Browns to cover, but I think uh because they were embarrassed by national television by the Bills. Literally, Allen played Superman, beat them like a crappy villain. I am going to take the Ravens to cover 11.5. It is a massive number. I am not comfortable choosing it, but I think the Ravens are need to save some grace here. Remind people they're that team. I'm not. I mean, this might be a revenge game for Flacco too. Maybe that matter if he has bad blood with the Ravens, but I think he might want to prove a point. So I am not confident in this. I'm just solely saying this that the Ravens might have to prove a point. It's their home opener. They have the offense to get after them. It's a divisional game, so I'm not really confident. But I'm thinking that they possibly do like a last minute cover. I think it'll be last minute. I'm going to say it's like 24. No, it's 17-30, or I'm going to say it's like 14-28. I'm going to be around that range. So give me the Ravens to cover, and Adam, which I think is a smart pick, he's taken the Browns plus 11.5 points. And as always, we just talked about the Bills. Let's talk about the Bills now. Mr. Superman himself, who's looking like he's going to win the MVP already, if you know what I mean, Adam.
For
Unless
sure.
your Jordan Love will take it.
Maybe just Super Bowl MVP. Love will get that one. We can let Allen have the regular season.
Yeah. He's right. He's like the big favorite right now. I already checked the stats of him being he's like the massive favorite to win the MVP already. It's only week one, but okay. I don't think we have to say too much about the Jets. Let's just talk about some points. Maybe I haven't talked about the Jets. So we got the bet. So let's just talk about. We got the Bills versus the Jets. Don't forget about the Jets either. The Jets, to the surprise of all of us, which I took them to cover, but I thought it was going to be a defensive matchup. I'm pretty sure Adam thought it was going to be a defensive matchup too against the Steelers. No, it turned out to be rock'em sock'em, points galore, a boat race for both teams. And they do cover because they blew it as usual. They are the Jets. So they're playing the Jets. The Jets look like they're pretty good in the second half. Forgive me, a car is zipping by. I live in a big city. So the Bills versus the Jets. Buffalo being favored by 6.5 and the over-under being 46.5. Bills are coming off an incredible comeback. Like I said, guys, Allen had over 400 yards, total yards. Unbelievable. Clark Kent and Superman. Cook, don't forget about Cook, the running back. I drafted him in our fantasy league. Don't forget that, Adam. Cook had over 100 total yards, catching and receiving. I mean, catching and running. And he had one touchdown. A good thing to see from Allen. He spread the ball around to 9 different wide receivers. That's kind of what you want to see. Coleman did lead the way. Great by him. But it's the defense, dude. That defense, they have a bunch of big names. I can't the other defensive end. I keep on. It starts with an R. I'll mess up his name, guys. But
Rousseau.
he had a sack. Milano at safety. They have guys. They have names. They have guys, not just names, but they have guys who could play. and they let the Ravens run wet and wild on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know how they can get it together. I mean, if your offense is putting up that many points, you shouldn't lose hardly any games, but they've been finding a way to keep it close.
So with the Bills, the thing is like I think Allen just can't be Superman all the time. He just can't be Superman all the time because uh, that's not good. That I don't know if that's gonna last. You know what I mean? Like I think that's gonna be worrisome because the guy's Allen's gonna be like I don't know like rock a sock. He's like a pinball machine. He was getting hit left and right. Let's talk about the Jets because they did put up their offense look pretty good. Offense surprised us all. Justin Fields look legit. He looks, I mean, better than Justin Fields looks, which I don't think he looked terrible in Pittsburgh, by the way. If you look back at those games, I don't think he looked that bad with the Steelers. So Justin had over 250 total yards and 2 touchdowns. Brees Hall looked great as well. I thought it'd been more of a running back by committee for the Jets, but Brees Hall took over. He had almost 150 total yards, so great showing by him. The Jets rushing in general had an average of 4.7 total yards, so that is a great number if you could average that. And the defense had 4 sacks, even though they let all those points go by the Steelers by an aging Aaron Rodgers. But they still had 4 sacks. But like I said, they're whipped by the Steelers, and they have names too. They have Quinnen Williams, the other Williams. They have Sauce Gardner. So it's like they have names everywhere too. I don't know what the hell happened there, but I'll go first on this one. What it comes down to me, anyway, some betting stats here for you guys. The Bills are 11-5 against the spread in the last 16 games, and the Bills are 8-2 straight up in their last 10 games versus the Jets, and the Bills are 8-1 straight up in their last 9 games against AFC opponents. So they're kicking butts and taking names against the AFC East. And Jets are 5-10 against the spread in their last 15 games. So they're not covering a lot of spreads here. So what it comes down to this for me is like they let the Steelers score a bunch of points on them. And maybe the Steelers offense is going to look more dynamic with Aaron Rodgers than we anticipated. But I think the Bills, again, are going to get in a predicament that Josh Allen is going to have to do something and they're going to win. Like maybe it's tied going into like the fourth quarter. And then Allen pulls a hat trick, magic trick out of his ass. And boom, a white rabbit comes out and it's a touchdown. And they win and cover. So I'm going to say 34-24, 34-27 kind of game. I think they win by a touchdown. Give me the Bills to cover, and hopefully their defense could play some kind of, defense.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bills pretty easily here. I don't think the Jets are going to repeat what they did last week. They're a lesser version of Henry and Lamar Jackson. I think the Bills will get out ahead early, and the Jets won't have the firepower to keep it close.
Yeah. And yeah, honestly, I think we're in agreement. I think Allen is probably gonna, if he stays healthy, probably the MVP again. I would get. I mean, I think that's your opinion as well, right?
100%.
Yeah. So this guy, but like it's good they're getting Cook involved, and I like that as a guy who owns on fantasy. But the guy needs help. Like he can't. They got to do something. He can't be playing Superman and Clark Kent. So give us both the Bills to cover. And now let's stay within the Bills division. Terrible, awful, garbage teams, which I don't think we have to spend too much time in, which I called, by the way, all this hype on the Patriots, people having the playoffs, Nick Wright, Colin Cowherd. Oh, yes, man, Mike Vrabel. I like Mike Vrabel better than the crap head coach they had before him. I like him. But I looked at the wide receiver room and I'm like, who on this wide receiver room? They got Diggs, but Diggs is what, 33 years old, 32 years old. I'm like, who on this team scares you? When I look at this team for the Patriots, I'm not scared, but I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Patriots versus the Dolphins. Miami's favored by 1.5, and the Patriots are favored by 1.5. And the over under, let me get here for you guys real quick, is 42.5. So as I was getting, no, the Dolphins are favored by 1.5. I was right. The Dolphins. I'm sorry. The Dolphins are favored by 1.5, and the over under is 42.5. I'm sorry. So when I looked at the Patriots, that's what I said. Where is this offense coming from? How is what's his name going to make this big leap for May? And because who's surrounding that's good? Is it the wide receiving room? Demario Douglas, okay, decent, not all right. Kashan Booty, I think they just signed him, and he ended up being their leading receiver. Hunter Henry, still really good. I like him. I think he's a top 10 tight end in my opinion. But who the running room back room is all based on Trevon Henderson, the guy they picked, and he did lead them in rushing, but he barely got any yards. Rashawn Stevenson, the guy, I don't know, maybe he lost a step. He doesn't look good. Tendo Gibson, these guys were doing nothing. But that's what I said, and so I'm just what I'm saying, man. Like, I think the people are now taking a step back about the New England Patriots and how they're just going to turn it around. Like, do you trust this offense? I don't see anybody I trust.
I don't yet. I think some of the hype was justified, but obviously they disappointed. I'm going to give it a couple more weeks. I thought Henry looked really good, made some good catches. Um,
Yeah, he's Mr. Reliable.
yeah,
Um,
it's a tough one.
Yeah. So I mean, Drake May had. Don't get me wrong. Drake May had a good game, but he shouldn't be throwing almost 50 attempts. He had 46 attempts, man. Look, he's a second-year quarterback. He's not the second coming of Jesus, or he's not Jaden Daniels. 46 attempts and you only put up that many points against the Raiders, and you didn't score. Their leading rusher was Henderson. He had 5 carries for 27 yards. That he was their leading. He had the most rushing yards. That's not bowing well. They're wrong. They're Deep Landry, their big acquisition, great game, 2.5 sacks. He's actually questionable coming in this game. Their other starting linebacker who led them in tackles, Ellis, he's also questionable going to this game. So let's briefly talk about the Dolphins here. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. The Dolphins look awful as well. They look terrible. You saw the Colts select them. Me and Adam, we both had the Colts on that. We said it before the game started, and I think others said this, but we both said Mac Daniels, it's over. The flash in the pan, he is fool's gold. They scratched it. You thought he was gold, and it's a piece of crap. That's Mac Daniels.
Yeah, and Tua was running for his life. I mean, that guy. I don't know how he goes out there behind that O line. His life is literally in danger. I think we're only a couple weeks away from the Dolphins starting to have a fire sale and start to sell people before the deadline. Hill probably will go to the Ravens or something crazy. I don't know, but
Yeah,
this team is not long. It's not going to last long.
and their injury report doesn't look good too. Their starting guard is questionable. Their starting tight end Waller questionable. Waddle, they say he's probably not going to play this game. I'm seeing he's questionable right now, but I read reports earlier today that he's kind of probably won't make it, and Jalen Wright is questionable too. So before we get into that, um, I mean, I'm not going to bet this game. I'm probably not even going to watch it. Or maybe I'll tune in, see what's going on. Thank God for Sunday NFL ticket. Miami is 9-0 against the spread in their last 9 games versus the Patriots. So they've had the Patriots number, and Tua has never lost. I know this might change your mind here, Adam. I don't know where you're going though. Tua has never lost to the Patriots when he started a game. So it seems like the Miami's had their number of late. So with all that being said, the battle of the toilet bowl, who do you got?
I'm doubling down on the Patriots, baby. I
Ooh.
cannot I cannot bet the Dolphins. I think they are the hottest dumpster fire in the league right now. And yeah, I can't do it.
I'm with you. A little bit wanted me to take the Dolphins because Mike Daniels C is steaming hot. It's in a frying pan, and and they had a team meeting yesterday. The Dolphins in the locker room, and I was thinking maybe Waddle, Tyreek Hill, A Chain, they all could step it up, and you have all this offense. But I'm going to take the better defense. I'm going to take Harold Landry. He's going to play this game. Looks like he is, but I think it's going to be a close game. It's 1.5, but you know what? Give me the better defense. Defense travels. So give me the Patriots plus the 1.5 points, and a game which maybe it's entertaining, but I'm not going to really tune in for it. But if anybody does, Godspeed. So with that, our next game after that, what I call a toilet bowl game, which we have a game that I think is going to be a toilet bowl game too. A second toilet bowl game, 2 teams. Now, one team you're thinking like, hey, why are you calling a toilet bowl game? Well, this team is going to be without their starting quarterback. This team is injured to hell. That's the 49ers versus the Spencer Rattler New Orleans Saints. The 49ers are favored by 3.5. The number opened at 6.5, by the San Francisco were favored by. But as soon as they found out that Brock Purdy is going to be out to 2 to 5 weeks, it is now 3.5, and the over under is 40.5. I mean, look at. I had Seattle with the 49ers, and it was a good game. I think you said you caught some of it, but and they still have a good defense. I was surprised. The 49ers did lose some names. I was surprised, but um, um, they look, I love their defensive coordinator. Not a good head coach, Robert Saleh. So he had their defense coming to play because don't forget this, the Seahawks. They had some guys just with the good defenders. But let's get to the 49ers, okay? They played really good. They are beat up. Their wide receiver room is all beat up. They still have Christian McCarthy. Thank God they have him. But Purdy is hurt. Mac Jones, baby. It's pack attack. Mac Jones. He is here. He is starting for them. Good luck. And the wide receiver room is beat up. Kittle, he is on the IR. So they're all beat up. Like I said, a good solid win by them. Against the Seattle. Brock Purdy had 2 interceptions, 277 yards. Purcell's the wide receiver, 108 yards receiving. Even Bosa had a sack, and Warner looked like Fred Warner. So yeah. And briefly talk about the Saints. They actually put up a valiant fight. That's the game that we tied on against the spread. They were by the Broncos, but the Broncos, it says more about their team. Spencer Rattler didn't turn the ball over. I think that's good to know. 46 attempts. You don't want that from Spencer Rattler. 46 attempts. But the Saints, like as usual, their meat and potatoes is their defense. It holds them together. But they did lose their safety. The guy they had replace the Honey Badger, Blackman, he is I believe he's just out for this game. He is out. He has a torn labrum, so he is gone. So that could be a bit. Chase Young is questionable, and their starting tackle is questionable as well. And for just briefly in the 49ers, Jennings, the wide receiver, he was questionable. He's probably going to play this game. And their DN, Matos, he's questionable with knee injury, but I think they said he wasn't going to play this game. And Jordan James, the running back, is questionable. So, dude, injuries galore. Who do you got, man? Both quarterbacks. You got Mac Jones versus Spencer Rattler. I don't know, man. This is going to be a tough one.
It's nasty. Yeah, I can't go with Mac Jones. I know the Saints have been really, really not good, but I think their defense is going to hold in there and give Mac Jones some problems. It's probably even harder than the last game. It's going to be nasty, but I guess I'm going with the Saints.
Yeah, this is like, I mean, I like to see others. Let's be honest. The 49ers are going to base that. They're going to just go through Christian McCaffrey. He's going to be their Lord and Savior. They're going to depend on him so much. Before I give my prediction real quick, 49ers are 4-2 against the spread in their last 10 games. The 49ers are 6-2-1 and against the spread in their last 9 games versus the Saints. And the 49ers are 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 road games. So they're not covering games when they're on the road. The Saints are 4-10 against the spread in their last 14 games. And the Saints are 2-10-1 against the spread in the last 13 games when they play on week 2, which I don't really think that means nothing. But besides that, this game is very hard. Mac Jones, I can't really predict them neither. Spencer Rattler did not turn the ball over. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think I can't, with all the injuries, with the 49ers, I just can't get there either. I'm going to take the 3.5 points. The Saints at home, they put up a good fight against a tough Denver Broncos defense. They already played a hard defense, a better defense than the 49ers. So I think they fight it out. Maybe the 49ers pull it out, but I'm thinking this is like a 17-14 game kind of game, in my opinion. So give me the Saints 2 plus the points, the same with Adam. So back to let's talk about my division, the NFC East for my Philadelphia Eagles. We have the Giants versus the Cowboys. Usually these games are hyped up, but since the Giants and the Cowboys are kind of not looking too good, so the Cowboys are favored by 3.5, and the over/under is 44.5. I was on the wrong side of the Giants. We talked about this for the Thursday game because the Redskins blew them off the doors. I mean, what do you think, man? How long do you think? What do you give? I know you said by week 4, I believe. How long do you give Russell Wilson? I mean, he did not look promising. He had 168 yards, 17 completions on 37 attempts, man. It's like, how long do you give him?
I hope not long. I mean, he just doesn't pass the eye test either. Every time he's touching the ball, I just have a bad feeling. I don't know, and a loss to the Cowboys here will only expedite that. I would assume, especially if it's a bad one.
Right. And I think you said yourself that Jackson Dart, he looked good in preseason. So, I think if when the losses pile up, he might turn quicker. You know what I mean? Third or fourth week, I think they're like, all right, pin him in because the GM and the head coach are probably going to lose their job if they can't salvage this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, and the Cowboys hung in there with the Eagles, so they're
Yeah.
no pushover.
So, yeah. So the Giants, I mean, they didn't put nothing valiant against the Skins. I mean, sorry, not the Skins, the Commanders. You know, they did sack Jaron Daniels because I told you guys the front seven is the bread and butter. They just kept on getting the ball to Neighbors, which is good. Excuse me, which is good. But Neighbors, he can't be your whole offense. You do have other wide receivers, actually decent receivers in Hyatt, and you have Tyrone Tracy, who's a good receiving back. Mix it in a little bit. Like, maybe it's a Russell Wilson thing, but maybe it's the offensive line. We said that's an average offensive line to above average. So, there's nothing really to say here. The front seven is meat potatoes. The way they win this game is they have to get after Dak Prescott. But the Dak Prescott, I mean, without Jalen Carter, their offensive line held their own, and the Eagles didn't sack them. So it was actually just a bad showing in general by the New York Giants. Like I said, the Cowboys are favored by 3.5, and the spread is 44.5. I mean, the over under is 44.5. The Dallas Cowboys, I think a lot of people like what they saw from them against the Eagles. Dak looked, 188 yards, but I didn't expect him to go crazy. The Eagles still have a very great defense. But what I was most surprised about was the ability to keep Dak Prescott off his feet and the defense to hold back the pretty much the Phillies offense, especially Shock Barkley from running wild.
Yeah, yeah, I was impressed.
Um, they still have CD Lamb. He killed it. If he kept those passes, he caught them. They would have won the game. They would have beat the Eagles if he caught those passes. To just say what it is. 7 receptions for 110 yards. Look at when they're healthy, the Cowboys. I say it because they're healthy because Bland. They just signed that corner for the big money. He is questioned to almost. I think it's pretty. It might be. He might not play this game. Bland, he is with the foot injury. Malik Hooker, their safety, he is also questionable this game. So keep an eye on that. But people forget they actually have potentially a good back. I think the Dallas, when this all said and they're going to come out. If they stay healthy, will have actually top 15, top 10 defense. So don't sleep on that. So, dude, divisional game. I'll start this one. I don't like what I see from Wilson. They're too much. They have no running game. Tyrone Tracy. Where's the other guy? The guy they drafted. I don't see anything happening here. I know it's a divisional game. I think the Dallas Cowboys showed enough that they have enough moxie to stay with the Eagles. I know that's a divisional game. They're usually tighter, but if they could keep Dak Prescott up, I think what's his name? I think this might even come up. This might be a come out party for Perkins. But I think Lamb could tear him apart too. So give me I'm just gonna take the Cowboys to cover the points. The Giants, I think they're gonna look terrible the first 4 weeks, and then Dart's gonna come in. So who do you got, man?
I agree with you. I think Lamb and Pickens are going to run wild. Prescott's going to put up points. Their run game was decent. Um, the Giants just aren't going to have it. They'll get some sacks and maybe force a turnover or something, but Cowboys are going to blow them out, in my opinion.
Right, they're gonna get all that, but will they pit will they will they actual score? You know what I mean? Will they
Yeah.
pit? Will they actually do that? Well, let's get to Adam's second favorite team, the Chicago Bears, the NFC North, baby, against it's a battle of the NFC North, battle of the 0-1 teams. The Bears did usually with Bears things and they blow it to the Vikings. They're like, here, we don't want to win, Vikings. Why don't you win it for us? Go ahead. There you go. They blow it in Bears fashion. And the Detroit Lions were embarrassed by the Packers like nobody's business. Detroit's fared by 6.5, and the over under is 46.5. I'm surprised it's 46.5. Yeah, dude. Let's talk about the Bears. You had the Bears covering briefly. What'd you think about that game?
I thought I had it in the bag, man. Caleb Williams with scripted plays and some confidence in the beginning of the game. The guy looks like a killer, and then he just falls apart. I think there's just some things missing from his game that are just almost unfixable. So I don't know. Maybe Ben Johnson can scheme around it, but if you can't read defenses and you only want to throw to one guy or one read, I don't know what a coach can do.
You're exactly right. And I want to thank the Chicago Bears briefly, real quick. Hold on. Hold on. Where is it? Hold on, guys. Just hold on. I want to thank the Chicago Bears for one thing. And the one thing is this. Sorry. I want to thank the Chicago Bears for making this card more expensive. They made this card go up in value. That's JJ McCarthy's signed autograph card. Thank you, Chicago Bears, for doing that. Yes, dude, you're exactly right. The Bears, I thought they had the game in the bag. I'm like, oh shit, Adam got this one. The Bears are pulling it off, baby. They are pulling off. The Bears are gonna beat the Minnesota Vikings. JJ McCarthy looks like he should be go back and play in junior college and JV college, whatever. But no, they blew it in Bears fashion. And just briefly, let's just start with this game here. Like I said before, I've said before, what they have these wide receivers, but who's proven besides DJ Moore? Adonze, whatever you say his damn name. I don't like him. I don't think he's. I think he could be okay wide receiver. Luther Burden. I didn't see much from him. It's DJ Moore. That's the only guy, and Komet. Yeah, the other tight end, and they have their tight end. But most importantly, I said this: they're running. They're gonna have a terrible running back room. So, Caleb Williams led the team in rushing. He had 658 yards rushing on 6 carries. Swift is not good. I am sorry. He's a good complementary back. He is a complementary back, and Rosho Johnson, the other backup, he's a complementary back. So I think this offense is actually going to be not that great. I really think they probably should have kept Keenan Allen, but good thing Keenan Allen left to the Chargers. But I mean, am I wrong, dude? I don't think this offense is going to. I think it's going to be mediocre to bad.
I don't know why. I feel like I still have some optimism for them even after the terrible showing. I can't explain it. Caleb Williams, when he looks good, he looks great. But
Yeah.
he is the linchpin in this offense, and I didn't like what I saw last week. So
And
it's yeah.
yeah, and let's talk about what I didn't like when I saw, because I thought that Detroit was going to pit. I was bullish on the Lions to cover against the. Oh yeah, they were the underdog cover against the Packers, and Lord, did they look like a pile of rocks. They came out, flat-footed, in my opinion. They let the Packers embarrass them, especially what happened to Lightning and Thunder. Lightning and Thunder, the best running back. They're still the best running back room in the NFL. But I mean, it goes to show you, was Ben Johnson really the guy who orchestrated that whole offense? I know it's only week 1, but we got to start. Let's ask the question: is Ben Johnson the guy who had these players, rocking and rolling? I mean, I'm not. That's not out of pocket, I don't think.
It's not. It's not. I mean, the biggest weakness I saw from them was that interior offensive line. I mean, the Packers exploited that. They got after Goff. Goff is not good under pressure, and they couldn't get the run game going. So it is a huge Achilles heel that was exposed, and I think will be exposed even more by the Bears. That's got to be the game plan for anybody playing the Lions right now. And on defense, Hutchinson was nowhere. I didn't
Yeah.
see him get a pressure, so he's not who he was. Maybe he's not healed, or these injuries are tough to come back from to such a high level. But they just weren't scary in any way.
Yeah, I think Hutchinson. The only thing he got was actually like a unsportsmanlike foul or roughing the pass. That's the only thing he
Yeah,
contributed to. That's all he got. And they said we didn't do too well because our defense was beat up. Our defense was beat up, and we talked about this. Adam reminded me that they have Brian Branch and Joseph, 2 really good safeties, but they had no sacks. So it looks like Jordan, no pressure. So like, what are we doing here? If you can't get after the quarterback, I'm sorry, your team's going to suffer. And it's going to be even more hard. I mean, Jordan Love's the better passer than Williams, But if you're going to give Williams some time, I think he'll get that ball, or he'll if the Detroit Lions don't stay in their lanes, the Williams could run out to rush the ball. So not a good showing by the Lions all around, especially through the running back room. Very disappointing in Montgomery and Gibbs. Goff, he had one turnover, but he was efficient, 31 for 39 for one touchdown. So that's good, I guess. Briefly on their injury report here, Grady Jarrett questionable, TJ Edwards questionable, Roshan Johnson questionable, and Kyler Gordon's questionable. Those are all starters for the Bears. And for the Lions, nobody really significant. Decker, the tackle, probably the best one you want to talk about. He's questionable with the shoulder injury, and but I reading before this that he will play this game. So with that, dude, I'll maybe you guys a little bit a bad tidbit here. Bears are 1-11 straight up in their last 12 games, which was I couldn't believe that when I heard that as I'm looking at the betting stats here. The Bears are 3-10-1 against the spread in their last 14 games played on week 2, which really means nothing. Lions are 13-7 against the spread in their last 20 games, and the Lions are 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 home games. So 6.5 is a big number, man. 6.5 is a big number. And I think I'll go first. I think a lot of this is because I think people think the Lions are going to take the next step up, that they're just waiting for them to like, hey, this is the Lions. They have this high power offense and they're going to do this and that. I'm going to take the Bears plus the points. I'm going to think that if they could just put 4 quarters together, like where they did against Minnesota. Minnesota has a great defense, by the way. I've told people that they're going to have a great front 7. They're going to have a top 10 defense. They blew it in the end of the game and the second half of the game, but more particularly the fourth quarter. But I think the Bears will keep it close enough. I still think they lose, but I think they'll keep it close enough and cover like a 20-24 kind of game.
I totally agree with you. I think it's a great point about the Vikings last week. They have a great defense, and the Bears hung in there. It was ugly, but obviously I watched that Lions game closer than any game last week against the Packers, and I just see too many weaknesses, and the points are too or the spread's too big. So reluctantly, I'm gonna go with the Bears to cover.
Yeah, and hey, I think we're both in agreement here. Don't sleep on a team losing both coordinators who become head coaches, because it did a number on the Eagles 2 years ago, and I wouldn't be surprised that it's doing a number on the Lions coming and this season, because that is a big loss on 2 guys who schemed for you. So let's talk about one team in particular that surprised me. The Seahawks versus the Steelers. Steelers are being favored by 3.5, and the over under. This is I thought it'd be a little higher than this. The over under is 39.5, the most slow predicted score on the whole slate this week. Seahawks, they lose the 49ers. They have a lot of moving parts, especially in the offense. Their defense looks great. It looks awesome. Like I think everybody predicted, it was a young offense, but they look like they have taken a step up. I know they lost the 49ers, but they had the 49ers on the rope a little bit, but the 49ers came out and, they come out, win that game. Like I said, they got rid of the big names. I really don't like the running back room for the Seahawks. Walker, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's the injuries are catching up to him, but he did not look good at the first week. I know it's the first week. Maybe they should make Jab Charbonnet the guy who gets the most lead carries for the rest of the season. He had 47 yards rushing and a touchdown. Sam Darnold, I know he's playing against the 49ers and have a good defense, so I'm going to give him a little break on there. Given he had 16 completions for 150 yards and no touchdowns, but at least no picks. Their ace wide receiver, Smith Njigba, I hope I'm pronouncing that one right, but they just kept them feeding the ball. 9 receptions, 124 yards. And where is Cooper Kupp? Where is he? Are his knees completely shot? Are they done? Because at least you could maybe, he was supposed to be the slot guy, supposed to, for sure hands. The guy did not, he was kind of, you forgot he was there at some point. So, he needs to step it up if they're going to they can't just keep on feeding the ball. I mean, the Smith for the wide receiver had over 75% of the receiving yards and nobody else, the night of the tight end. So not a good showing from their offense. But like I said, it's their defense. Their defense is killer. It I think has potential to be top five defense. So I don't know. They're not really not much to talk about the Seahawks. You know what I mean? I think it's their defense. Like I said, let's talk about the Steelers real quick before I let you put your 2 cents in here. Hey, Rodgers looking like an MVP candidate. Maybe he was just trying to be who I hate the guy. Mr. Tinfoil. Well, let's not talk about that guy. Like he's a little loopy in the head. But maybe that loopiness and his vengeance he won against the Jets paid dividends. 22 out of 32. He was 22 out of 30, 4 touchdowns, 244 yards. Vintage Aaron Jones, Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you got to admit, he looked pretty good, Adam.
He did. He did.
Did you?
I still like him. I mean, I think he can get up for any game that he's pissed off for. He's crazy. I think it's like that Michael Jordan effect where it's like, that's all I needed to hear, and then he's got the laser eyes.
Yeah, the booze, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So who'd you rather have right now, Love or Rodgers?
Oh, love for sure.
Okay. Just want to know because Love did look good too. But yeah, you're right. He maybe it's a vengeance game for him. He looked killer. He spread the ball around. DK Metcalf had a lot of good chunk yard plays, 4 receptions for 83 yards. So he was doing his things. Um, you want to see more of their defense because that's what the Steelers are known for. They got Ramsey, they got Watt, they have a bunch of guys on that line. So you want to see more from them because the Jets put over 30 points on them, a 30 piece. They did win the game last minute, but they kind of easily lost that game because of the Jets defense. I mean, of the Steelers defense. So I don't know what's going on there. Tomlin needs to, he needs to wrap that up. So this is what it comes down to me, and I'll let you go all first on this one. Is the Steelers offense going to keep the momentum up against this actually really good Seahawks defense? I think the Seahawks defense, I think they have a lot of things to iron out. I think it's going to be slow for a lot of the weeks, and Sam Darnold has basically one guy to throw to. Like I said, Cooper Kupp is a little banging the knee. So what do you like? Do you believe that the Seahawks defense, because it's a low scoring game, Vegas is 39.5. Do you think the Steelers offense can keep the momentum going against this tough Seahawks defense?
Yeah, I do. I don't think Rodgers just gets hot for one game. He's not going to throw for four, but he's going to get a couple touchdowns. And I think the Seahawks offense just didn't look as good as I hoped. Their running back room, Walker did not look how people expected. He was a big, dark horse in fantasy, and just didn't look fresh, didn't look explosive. So I think the Steelers can win and cover.
I agree. I don't like any of these. I don't like any of these teams running backs room either. I do not like the Steelers either, man. Like the Steelers,
No.
Warren is their top guy. I'm sorry, good receiving back, but I do not like him as a starting running back, complimentary back. So that's why I think the Steelers to beat the Seahawks, they have to. So Aaron Rodgers has to be precise, and they have to get the receivers have to get open, not just Metcalf either. Before I make predictions, the Seahawks are 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 games. The under is 8-4 against us in the Seahawks' last 12 games. The Seahawks have won 6 straight road games straight up. The Seahawks are 1-4-1 against the spread in the last 6 games against NFC North opponents, and the Steelers are 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 games. And the under is 5-2 in the Steelers' last 7 games. I'm with you too, man. I know the Steelers defense doesn't give the Pittsburgh Steelers fits. I know they are. And the running back room is not good for the Steelers. And that's why they're saying this. And I kind of want to take the Seahawks with the points because there's going to be a lot of hype on the Steelers. But I can't see the Steelers defense being that bad again. And I think they can shake Sam Darnold just a bit long enough because his offense looks out of sorts as well. So I think it's going to be a close game. I really do. I think it's going to be like, 14-20 or possibly something around that range. So, man, I'm with you. I'm taking the Steelers 3.5. I wouldn't be surprised if Seahawks cover, but I think the Steelers defense could startle Darnold more than the other way around against the veteran presence of Aaron Rodgers. Okay, so let's go back to an actual teams that one team looked crappy and another team actually surprised us all. And that is the Broncos versus the Colts. The Broncos only being favored by 1.5 points. That's that's a bit surprising. And the over under being 43.5. Broncos, I'll start. That they should have lost that game. I watched that game and the Broncos looked terrible. Bo Nix, I know it's the first week, second year. I don't know if people believe in the sophomore slump, but he had a lot of hype going in, a lot of hype going in. And he did not look good. He was 25 for 40, two picks, and 176 yards passing. So almost damn near almost half his passes. So not a good showing by them. Like I said, they should have lost that game. The Titans kept it pretty close. They could have the Titans could have tied it with the last 5 minutes in the fourth quarter when they played the Broncos. So I did not like what I saw from the Broncos. They have Sutton, so great. The running back room, it's Hunt Harvey and Dobbins, so not so bad. But what it all comes down to one thing for the Broncos. Yes, their defense, I understand. They're gonna have a stellar defense. We all know that. But it's Bo Nix. Is Bo Nix gonna take those when he looked really great going into the second half of the NFL and after the second half? Is he gonna carry that into this season? Because he did not look good against the Titans. I mean, he didn't look good against the Titans. And I told everybody the Titans have a good defense. That's the one thing they can hang their hat on. They have a great front, seven. They have a good corner in Snead. Snead's actually, when he's healthy, is a really great corner. So he could take away Sun. But dude, I'm not looking like what I like from them. Cortland Sutton looked great, but even Evan Ingram, the tight end, the big acquisition, another guy a lot of people liked, like as a sleeper tight end in fantasy, did not produce. He's questionable for this game. He only had 3 receptions for 21 yards. Troy Franklin, their other wide receiver, 4 receptions for 44 yards. I'm not telling you, man. Besides Sutton and Dobbins and RJ Harvey, which looks like they really rushed the ball really well. So I take that back. With Nick's legs, Harvey and Dobbins, they ran the ball for 30 times as a team for 151 yards and they averaged 5 yards per carry. What do you feel, man? Like, what do you think about this offense? Because I'm not liking the wide receiver room besides Sutton. And I think if the Broncos are going to stay get into the playoffs, like a lot of people predict them, Colin Cowherd, he loves Peyton's, likes kissing his ass. What do you think, man? I think Knicks is I don't know, man. I think a lot is depending on him.
Yeah, I think the hype was a little too hot for him this season, and he just hasn't shown it yet. I agree. I thought Dobbins ran pretty well. I don't think he had a ton of yards, but he looked solid. But yeah, Ingram only had 3 catches. I think maybe that's more on Knicks than on Ingram. But yeah, their defense wasn't like so dominant that they just crushed the Titans. Like I think people were kind of expecting their defense to be that strong. So yeah, just a disappointing win, I guess, last week for the Broncos, and just not super inspiring.
Right. So yeah, like I said, guys, we don't have to talk about their defense that much. Their defense is going to be aces. The Broncos, they have weapons galore. The reigning defensive player of the year on their team. So we know how good their defense is, and they as bad as the Titans are, they held them to 12 points. So it was a great showing by them. But the Colts, the big surprising. Daniel Jones looked like a damn MVP candidate. You know what I mean? He was 22 for 29 for 1 touchdown. He was out there sacrificing his body against the Dolphins. Now I know it's the Dolphins. They're flash in a pan. They're fool's gold. Daniel Jones, he ran 7 times for 26 yards, 2 touchdowns rushing, and 1 touchdown passing. A quarterback rating of 115.9. I think we're all surprised by that one.
Very much so. Yeah. But he's got a good cast around him. I mean, great wide receivers. Jonathan Taylor played great. New tight end played well.
And you know
he
what?
facilitated.
You're right. You're right. We all forgot about Pittman because he had a terrible year last year, but he had those back problems and he fell like flat in a lot of people's fantasy drafts. I think people forgot that the year before, 2 years ago, he had over 1,000 yards receiving. So like if Daniels could play, like if he could surprise us all and play, maybe the Giants wasted his talents. I know it's week 1, but maybe if he actually plays average to better than average, Pittman might have a resurgence here. 6 receptions, 80 yards, 1 touchdown. Tyler Warren, the rookie tight end that the Bears didn't pick, he had 7 receptions for 76 yards. That's great to see from your rookie tight end. And like you said, Jonathan Taylor, 18 carries for 71 yards. They did mix it in with DJ Giddens, 12 carries for 40 to 41 yards. So I like that they rushed the ball 40 times. I really do like that. If you want to help Daniel Jones, remember I told you maybe they could work on that RPO, but I think if you could really rush the Colts, I think Daniel Jones can actually be better, damn near better than when he's playing with the Giants. So, man, what it comes down to is this. I'll let you take this one right away. I'll briefly say the betting thing. I keep on giving you the betting stats before I get your prediction. So the betting stats on this one, guys. The Broncos so far they didn't cover, so they're 0-1 against the spread. Bo Nix is actually 12-7 against the spread when he's a starting quarterback, and the Colts they covered the spread, but I don't have to tell you they did terrible last year in covering spreads last year. So with that, man, I think it comes down to is it's actually I think the Broncos offense is going to be stalling. So take that for what it is. And the Colts have actually a better than average to good defense. But I think is the Broncos defense going to do enough to stop the Colts momentum? And is Daniel Jones can he carry that against this stellar defense?
Yeah, I'm going with the Colts here. I like how they're solid on both sides of the ball, and that offense I think is going to be able to score. So I'm going with Colts.
Man, this one's tough. I flip flop on this one, man. I have flip flop this one because it's tough. I like the under in this team. I like the under in this team big time. I think for the most part, it's going to come down to I don't know. I think it's going to come down to the Broncos defense. Can they hold them? Can they hold the Colts enough to score? But I don't know, man. I just can't get there with Danny Dimes. I just can't get there yet. I need to see consistency from him. I know Bo Nix is not reliable enough, but I'm going to take the reliable defense that is the Broncos, and I'm going to hopefully they rush the ball, and which I think is going to be a tight game. So I think I'm giving the Broncos, man. So give me the Broncos to cover 1.5, and you got Danny Dimes, baby, to take plus the 1.5 points, which I think is going to be a good game. So I'll be tuning in that one. And let's talk about a team that I bet on, that I had a lot of hope for, that I lost money on, the Carolina Panthers versus the Cardinals. Cardinals have a big number. They're favored by 6.5, and the over-under being 44.5 points. This game, what can you say about the Panthers, man? Like I thought, young, I don't know. Is it time to pull the trigger? I know it's week 1. We don't want to overreact. I know a lot of people do, but 18 for 35, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. And, a lot of that, I don't know. I saw some of those yards come through in the fourth quarter. I know the game was delayed too for over an hour, I believe, for the Jaguars. So maybe that didn't help. Maybe that stop killed all the momentum, but he didn't look good after that too. I like the running back room. I think Chuba Hubbard is a great running back, but I mean, I don't know if it's ready to close the door on Bryce Young, but I mean, I was expecting more for them. But you were right, man. What do you think about the Panthers? Do you think they're going to save grace, or do you think there's going to be, down in the dumps as usual?
I think they're down in the dumps. After watching the game, I dropped Bryce Young from my dynasty league. I probably shouldn't have rostered him to begin with, but I just can't watch it. He got a little bit hot last year, and maybe him and Tet McMillan can get things going because McMillan did look good. But man, very.
Hey, by the way, you're the guy who pronounces the names here. How do you say McMillan's first name?
Tetaroa.
Ted Aurora. Okay, I'm gonna mess that up anyway. Ted Aurora. Yeah, I liked him a lot. I liked him coming out of college out of Arizona. Chuba Hubbard again was playing Superman. He almost had 100 yards. He had almost over 90 or almost 90 yards combined, and he received a touchdown. I thought the front seven was going to hold. Like I said, guys, the front seven, their defense is nothing to sneeze about. Brian Birds, Trevon Morig, J.C. Horn, Bobby Brown III. Treshaun Warren, though, the guy they got from Kansas City, is probably not playing this game. So keep that in mind. Let's talk about the Cardinals here briefly. They win against the Saints. It was against the Saints, I believe. I thought they would. I know the Saints have a better a better a defense than people want to admit, but I was not happy with what I saw from the Cardinals, man. What's his name? Kyler Murray. He didn't turn the ball over, so that's great. 20 out of 29, good. Didn't turn the ball over. 160 yards, 2 touchdowns. Marvin Harrison, to probably me and your surprise, 5 receptions for 71 yards and 1 touchdown. And Benson, I'm glad they ran the ball because I think if the Cardinals are going to be happy, they have to pound the rock with James Cardinal and Benson and use Murray. So they did rush the ball well. 27 total rushes for 146 yards for 5.4 yards an average carry. That is good. And when you're over 5 yards, that's great. And obviously, Marvin Harrison and Trey McBride led them. I know you're not the biggest Murray fan. I'm not the biggest Murray fan. I thought they put up more points against the New Orleans Saints. They didn't do nothing in the second half. Only 6 points were scored in that game. Their defense, I would like to see them more. That's the one thing I'm worried about. They only sacked Spencer Rattler one time. That is not good to see. I do think at this point though that I'm sorry, there's a helicopter going above my my area. So that's what it comes down to, man. I don't trust this defense. I don't trust the Panthers offense. So who's going to prevail? Do you think that Kyle Murray can step up again? Can this rushing attack be efficient to an actual Panthers good, decent team? And don't forget the spread is 6.5. What do you think? Do you think Bryce Young is going to do something better than average?
I think he might. Yeah, I don't like Kyler Murray, and I do think Marvin Harrison Jr. played better than expected last week. But if the Panthers can stop the run, I don't know that the Cardinals are going to be able to pull ahead by that many points. So I'll give Bryce Young another shot, but he is on the very short rope for me.
Yeah, I'm too. 6.5 is a big number, especially with the team that didn't cover against the Saints. Briefly talk about the injuries here for everybody, just to give you an outlook. Like I said, Trevor Warren, the defensive tackle they signed from Kansas City, he will not be playing this game for Treshaun Wharton. He is out with a hamstring injury. He was a good signing by them in the offseason, so that's one less person. Patrick Jones, their good linebacker, the second, he is questionable for this game, and their starting tackle is still questionable for this game for the Panthers. And Hunter Renfro, who, I mean, doesn't really do anything for me. And nobody's significant for the Cardinals is missing pretty much no injuries. The Panthers are 7-3 against the spread in the last 10 games. They didn't cover last week. Panthers are 7-1 against the spread against 8 games versus the Cardinals. So they had their numbers, sounds like. And the Panthers are 2-16 straight up in their last 18 road games. So they're not winning those. And the Cardinals are 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games, and they're 5-1 in their last 6 home games. So this is a lot of points. And it's very hard for me because Kyle Murray, I don't know. I just can't get there with not that I can't get there with him, but he needs to show me more too. I do not like this game. Man, it's tough. You know what, man? I just don't like what I see from the Panthers. Bryce Young, I think I'm done with him. Maybe he'll prove me wrong. Like I said, he made me some money last year. Maybe he's a late bloomer in the seasons, but he needs to be a full bloomer since day one. But I'm not. I think he still needs a couple more games to get in the swing of things. I think Kyle Murray uses his legs enough to cover this game. I'm thinking it's a 21-14 kind of game. So give me the Cardinals to cover, even though I do not like this game, but I think they'll do enough to, do what they can to cover. So give me the Cardinals and give the Bryce Young Panthers. So with that, I believe the Super Bowl game. We have big game of the week besides the Packers and Commanders. We have the Eagles versus Kansas City's Chiefs. I am pumped for this one. Philadelphia being fair by 1.5 and the over-under being 47. I'll just go with it first. The Eagles get back 2 guys. No, they get 2 guys coming into this game. Jalen Carter and they get a Zadarius Smith. Jalen Carter, the idiot, hawking a loogie at the damn player, but he is in for this game. Zadarius Smith, they just signed him. From what I'm reading, he is going to play this game. He'll probably be on a snap count because he doesn't know the playbook, but they'll probably send him in for pass rushing situations. Did not like what I like. They're not giving the ball to AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, arguably the top three receiving room in the league. Love what I see from Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts played Superman. People forget the guy's a fantasy killer. If you got him in fantasy, he looked great against them. I want to see more from the defense. I do not. When I've been talking to other Eagles fans, I said, I got to rant about them a little bit here. I did not like. I knew that the second cornerback was going to be a problem for the Eagles. That's why they made that trade for Jackson for the Raiders to bring him in. And I believe either Howie will make a bigger trade come the few more games in the season to get another corner, or he's going to try to sign somebody that's out there and try to mix it up, or he's going to sign a slot corner and pit Cooper as an outside corner. But they did after the delay in the game with the Cowboys, they did stop the Cowboys. But like I said, the Cowboys could have won the game if Lamb catches those passes. So I ran around by my Eagles. We'll talk about the Kansas City briefly. What do you think about the Eagles for this game?
Yeah, I didn't like what I saw last week, but I do think Jalen Carter was a decent piece of that on the defense. Offensively, obviously they can still run the ball, and they don't need to throw sometimes. So the defense is the issue for me, but I think with Jalen Carter back, and with is Za'Darius going to play? Do you know?
Yeah, they said he's gonna. He will. He said in a press conference or an interview that he expects to play week 1, and he's probably gonna be on the snap count. But I figured they're gonna have him for pass rushing downs. Just to hit in there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, between that and the linebacker play from the Eagles, which looked awesome, I think that defense is going to be real stout against the Chiefs.
Right. And talk about the Chiefs here real quick. My buddy got to get to the Packer game, but
I got it in a other window over here, so I might be looking
okay.
over.
Awesome. We got to watch the Pack. We both took the Packers, baby. And I got some little bit of money riding on it. The Chiefs, they got not spanked, but their defense did not look good. Herbert threw all over them. Herbert 318 yards passing, 25 for 34, 3 touchdowns. And Quentin Johnson, Keenan Allen, he was passing the ball around. They were tearing them apart. They did get 2 stacks, their defense from Tranquil. That's about it. Patrick Mahomes looked great. He looked great. What I don't like about the Chiefs, which I don't know what's going on with a lot of teams not having great running back rooms, their running back room, I'm sorry, I don't think it's great. Patrick Mahomes should not lead your team in rushing. He had more carries than all the running backs. I am sorry that should not happen. Isaiah Pacheco, which I have never been a big fan of, and Kareem Hunt had 10 carries for 41 yards. That is terrible. Patrick Mahomes had 6 carries for 57 yards. Patrick Mahomes can run the ball as a quarterback, but he is not known as a running quarterback. He should not be leading your leading room. So I think it's going to bite him in the butt to have this kind of crappy of a running back room. Another big hit, Worthy. I know he didn't play that much time, but he is out. I know they said he kind of practiced, but he is not playing this game. Hollywood Brown actually looked good. 10 receptions for 99 yards. Travis Kelce, I don't know. I don't think he's not Travis Kelce anymore. He said he lost weight. He looks better. He feels better than ever. I'm sorry. I don't see it. 2 receptions, 47 yards. Don't kill me, Kansas City fans. I think he is slow as he was last year. That's what it is. I don't think he's good touchdown. That wasn't actually a good play. He got away, but I think it's a better play design than anything, but not Kelce. But Kelce Cotty made the touchdown. So my problem here, Adam, the vaunted dynasty, the kingdom, Kansas City. I'm sorry. I wasn't impressed by them in this game. The Chargers are nothing to seize about. I am not a Harbaugh fan. Everybody likes sticking their heads up Harbaugh's ass. Oh, he likes going Harbaugh. He's done this and that. He's never won a chip in the NFL, and his team had to cheat to win in Michigan. Okay, I don't want to hear it. When Harbaugh wins in the NFL, okay, I'll buy it then. I am sorry. I had too much Celsius, okay, guys. I'll buy it then. Let me focus on the Chiefs here, okay? The vaunted kingdom, the Chiefs. I don't like the running back room whatsoever. The left tackle, brand new guy for them. and they have two new offensive linemen. I'm not really buying it for them. All right, I ranted there. What do you think about the Chiefs?
I agree with you. The running back room looked rough. You can't just make Mahomes do everything. Partly they were throwing so much because they were playing from behind, but without a dominant defense that they're used to, the Chiefs just don't have the firepower that we're expecting from them. So they always find a way to figure stuff out, but I don't think there's going to be enough to get over the Eagles.
Right, and let's just talk about it real quick. I ranted about them. I talked about the Chargers. I was sorry about that. Um, these teams have a lot of the same players. They really do. But the Chiefs lost Reed at safety. They lost Tuniak, or I know they signed some other offensive linemen. But other than that, it's the same pretty much offense coming into this game. And the Eagles, they have a lot of different guys on defense. They lost a lot of veteran guys, but older guys as well, except Sweat, Milton, Williams. But Williams, he was a rotational guy who got a massive contract. I'm not really crying over Milton Williams. And they did CJ Gardner Johnson, which I think was the bigger loss in the defense. And Darius Slay got tore up by the Jets. So I'm worried about that loss. So pretty much these teams have a guy the same players. So I'll go first. I'm ranting like a crazy man. Let me give you guys some betting stats here real quick. And by the way, the Eagles really have nobody. Oh, they do have somebody significant of injury who's looking like it's doubtful. It's going to be a game time decision. Dallas Goedert, who is the safety blanket, Mr. Reliable, the guy fights for yards. He is very down game time decision to play this game. So keep an eye on that. I like that you mentioned that the linebackers for the Eagles, Campbell, if he plays like that every game, he's going to be the steal of the draft. I'm just saying it. He'll be one of the steals, okay? Because he played like a guy, cornerback guarding those tight ends. He was great pass defensively wise. So I'm glad you said that. Him and Bond are going to be great. But the only thing significant for the Eagles is that Dallas Goedert is going to be a game time decision. Bigsby will play this game from the Jaguars. The other guy they got, he is going to be their second backup. Will Shipley, the second running back, has fractured ribs. He's not going to play this game. Well, Bigsby is going to be slotted in, but he's also going to do kick returns, and Zadarius will play this. Worthy is out for this game for them. Other than that, not too many big Royals. The other wide receiver is questionable. So those are the teams significant for the Chiefs. So with that, I'll go first. The Eagles, these teams are almost similar. I think it's probably not going to be a blowout like the Super Bowl. So I'm not expecting that. But I think the Eagles. I think the Eagles are going to keep it. I think the Eagles still have that mentality that, hey, these are the Chiefs. They beat us that one time in the Super Bowl. We had them. I think there's still going to be some vengeful hate there. The Eagles are 10-4 against the spread in the last 14 games. The Eagles are 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 road games. And the Eagles are 9-0. 9-0 straight up in their last 9 games against AFC opponents. They had the AFC's number, okay? Not to be a homer. I'll just do some things for the Chiefs, and I'll let Adam speak for once. The Chiefs are 13-0 straight up in their last 13 home games, so they're ripping at home. Let's don't forget they won a lot of one-score games, that are less than a touchdown. That is not going to happen again. And they're 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games because they couldn't cover. So with all that being said, I'm being a big homer, baby. You can tell. I don't care. Jalen Carter, that violent human being, that guy who's freaking, that guy's gonna take it all in there. That guy, he was one of the most double teamed linemen in all of football. He's gonna eat those games, baby. They're gonna have Darius Smith, the great Packer and the great Viking, comes to the Eagles. I think he'll get some sacks. Nolan Smith, Hunt, Jalen Carter is a game wrecker, and I know those Eagles. They're going to Barkley. I think Barkley's going to take the next step up. He probably wants to get over 100 yards in the KC. Give me them to cover. Hell, I might say I'll move it. I'll say they'll cover 3.5 points, not just 1.5. Adam, you go ahead.
You took the words out of my mouth at the end there. I was going to say that I would take them by way more than 1.5 points with Jalen Carter coming back. I think that defense is going to be dominant. Something to prove after last week. I know they won, but I think a lot of people kind of it was almost a loss to the Cowboys. So I think that the Eagles come back with a vengeance and beat some ass.
Yeah, and I'm gonna look like an ass if they don't come and win. Come on here for the people who do watch this TikTok, the YouTube Shorts. We get a lot more viewers there. Come and rub it in my face and be like, "You were on some good crack." Okay, I'm glad, but I'm taking this. I think the Eagles still have it in them. So give us the Eagles to cover, and finally, maybe the kingdom will just keep on crumbling, just like every kingdom around the world. They get a coup happens, and no more blah blah blah. See you later, Chiefs Kingdom. All right. We have the Falcons versus the Vikings. Vikings being favored by 3.5, which I'm surprised by because they look like ass in the first half of that Bears game, and the over-under being 44.5. Falcons blew the game against the Buccaneers. We both had the Buccaneers in that one. They look pretty good, but like I said, they can't get after the quarterback. That's been their Achilles heel last year. They drafted two defensive end and outside linebackers, rushing linebackers, and but don't forget the Buccaneers were pretty beat up. They were out with their amazing one of the top left tackles. They were without him, and I was not impressed by their defense. I mean, look at they hold the Buccaneers to only 23 points, one of the most high power offenses, but they're without Godwin and their best left tackle. When you lose a all pro left tackle, it would affect any team. They only sacked Mayfield one time. Now I know Mayfield's good at getting out of the pocket. People forget how many rushing yards he had last year. He had 39 rushing yards this year. Last week. So I know that, and I know it's harder to say, but I don't like the Falcons. I do not like their defense. I know they have some players on there like AJ Terrell and Jesse Bates, the third. Other than that, dude, I don't like them. I mean, you were right though, man. Good call on Amika on call. What do you think about both these teams? What do you think about this the Buccaneers and the Falcons here?
The Vikings and the Falcons, or the
Sorry,
Buccaneers and the Falcons?
the Vikings and the Falcons. You got it. Sorry.
Yeah. No, the Falcons, they are who they still, have always been. I think Kyle Pitts actually looked decent for the first time in a long time. But
That's true. He
otherwise, I
did.
I didn't see enough. I mean, Bijan Robinson is awesome, but the Minnesota's run defense is good too. So I think that'll be a good matchup there.
I think it's obviously the BJ Robinson show.
Yeah, yeah, it
Um,
is.
Go ahead.
No, I don't have much else for the Falcons.
Uh, and briefly on the Vikings.
Yeah, McCarthy had a slow start. They pulled it through. I liked Jordan Mason running. I think he's kind of going to dominate the running back room a little bit, where Aaron Jones made some amazing catches, but Jordan Mason looked good. Otherwise, the Minnesota is a well coached, well balanced team. So I still like them, but yeah,
Right. So good call. I mean, Aaron Jones did pull some miraculous. That one touchdown catch was pretty great, and he led the whole team in receiving. When you have Justin Jefferson, that's not a good thing. And Mason led the rushing room. So if they have a good 1-2 punch and rushing the ball, I think that's actually pretty good to have. And McCarthy, he looked terrible. He ended up having 143 yards for two touchdowns and one interceptions. Um, they're like I said, guys, before when we were predicting the Bears game, their front, the Vikings, their defense is the bread and butter. That's how they're going to win games, sacking the quarterback and getting just pressure, pressure, pressure. That's how they're going to do it. All right, man. What do you think? Tough game, I believe 3.5 in Minnesota. Who do you got?
I'm struggling with this one. I don't think we can just assume JJ McCarthy of the second half is going to be the JJ McCarthy of the whole next game. So I'm going to go with the Falcons.
Hey, good point. You just said previously. I took the words out of my mouth. You took the words out of my mouth. McCarthy, yes, he turned it around, but like you said exactly, Jones pulled some catches out of his butt to help that win. Now we know the defense is going to play great, and maybe this is going to be a low scoring game. But if it's a low scoring game, give me the Falcons plus the 3.5 points. Give me BJ Robinson. Michael Penix had a good game against the Buccaneers, and Drake London, Kyle Pitts. I think they could give it. I think it's gonna be a tight game. And McCarthy, like you said, perfectly. We can't expect the second half McCarthy to be this whole game for this one. So give me the Falcons plus 3.5, just like the atom. All right, guys, we promise. We promise we'll do better on our best bets. We both went 0-3, not a good showing, but hey, we had a winning record against all our predictions, okay? 9-5-1, and he's 8-6-1, still above 500 both of us. So I'm winning him by one game. Hopefully I keep that up. I keep that winning streak. But we promise our best bets will go first here. Adam, I'll let you go first with your best bets.
Sure. My three this week are I'm taking Philly by at least 5.
Ooh, that's
Oh,
a probably
I
good number. That's probably like plus 200. I know you're probably saying they'll cover the 1.5, but I know what you mean. If you do want to raise that number, move it to them to cover 3.5. That's a good number. That's some good money you can win.
yeah, I think they're gonna dominate. I'm taking Colts money line. I know it's only
Ooh,
1.5 point spread, but might as well just take them to win then if I think they're gonna do that well. And then I finally think the Cowboys cover the what is it 5.5.
I like that, dude. Those are some good picks, and I was debating those myself. I'm glad because I'm glad because I was really looking at that. I like the Colts. I like the Colts call there, even though I think the Broncos to cover. I can see the Colts winning that easily. Um, And thank you for picking the Eagles. I don't figure we'll figure out if you pick bad luck or good luck on them. Hopefully, you some good luck like you put with the Packers. My three best bet, guys. Hopefully, we I hit them on this one for you guys. I like the Chargers to cover the 3 points against the Raiders. Geno Smith, just go back look at some games against the Seahawks. The guy he has some inconsistent games with them, and he had a lot of offensive weapons with the Seahawks. I think that could come back here. Browers is a little hurt. He'll play this game, but I think the Chargers have a lot of great momentum right now. I think the running game will be better for them as well with Dobbins and that rookie they got there. And if that Keenan Allen, that guy looks like it was a great under the radar signing. I think they covered that 3 points. And I like the under 41.5. If you get a bigger number, already 42.5, take it. Under the Rams and Titans. Look at the Titans, they can't barely put any points up at all. The Rams have a good defense. They can get after the quarterback, and I think it's going to be hard pressed for the Titans to get any points. And that goes the same thing for the Rams. Their Rams are beat up a little bit on that offensive line. It looks like they have Puka Nakua. I mean, doing all of their work. I know Devontae Adams had a lot of he did okay. Kyler Williams, he did okay too. But I think the Titans could get after Matthew Stafford. I really think that front seven could get some sacks on him. And I think this is going to be a 17-14 game, 17-10 kind of game. So give me the under in the Rams and Titans game. And then give me the under in the 49ers versus the Saints. 49ers have Mac Jones going. Their wide receivers are all beat up. Their starting tight end, Kettle. I always screwed up. Kettle, he is also not playing this game. And their 49ers defense, even though they had a lot of replacements showing it could really play, they got Robert Saleh, a great defensive coordinator. So I think their offense is going to be putrid, but their defense is still going to be good. And the Saints, what are you going to say? Spencer Rattler is still the quarterback. I know he didn't throw any interceptions, but he didn't throw no touchdowns either. So I think just like the 49ers, the Saints have a great defense, to good defense, good to great. And I think because the 49ers have a backup quarterback, the Saints defense could stop them as well. So I think this is going to be another tight game, 17-10, 17-14 kind of game. So give me the under 40.5 with the 49ers versus the Saints. So guys, hopefully we do better in the best bets for you guys. We did good on our straight up. I mean, against the spread games, we both went above 500. Hopefully my Eagles win. Hopefully his Packers lose. I'm just kidding. They look like they're right now. They're going to beat the Commanders. Anything else, buddy? Anything else? I do feel confident in your best bets.
I do 3-0 this week. Feeling it.
You heard her
Mortgage
first.
on it.
Yeah, bet the mortgage. Wait, do not take that advice. Do not do that. Do not do that. Take this with a grain of salt. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. We're trying to make these shorter and faster to you guys. I rant like a madman, as you can tell.
Especially on Celsius.
Yeah, especially on an energy drink. So, guys, like and subscribe. It goes a long way for this small channel. Go Birds, go Cheeseheads, go Pack. And thank you for watching. And we'll always see you in the next one. All right, dude. Woo. I felt like I ran a marathon.